is Wednesday, November 18. Welcome to CGN News. Jamaica's House of Representatives on Tuesday passed the new dog attack law with 17 amendments. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck tabled the bill, which now moves to the Senate for its approval. The bill proposes fines ranging from $500,000 to $3 million or imprisonment from 6 months to 15 years. However, Chuck said convicts will not attract a criminal record. Under the law, civil liability can be incurred if the dog causes injury in any other place than its home or where it is normally kept. On Sunday, a pack of dogs mauled a 5-year-old boy, leaving him hospitalized in serious condition. Jamaica's Education Minister Favor Williams says the first week of face-to-face classes have been mostly satisfactory. However, there is concern about the readiness of schools to deal with medical emergencies. Williams told the House of Representatives on Tuesday that all COVID-19 protocols were observed. The minister said 5 schools reported students turning up without face masks, but they were issued with the items by administrators. However, no management protocols were outlined for the isolation room in 6 schools. Face-to-face classes began in 17 schools last week under a 2-week pilot program. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force has announced the closure of applications for the COVID-19 wardens, citing an overwhelming response. Deputy Police Commissioner Milton Desir says the target is 200 individuals. Once appointed, the wardens will be given powers of arrest but would not be members of the police force. Desir says the job of the warden would be to monitor the wearing of masks and ensure that COVID-19 protocols are observed, especially in communities and bars. Cruise lines have joined the call for a unified approach for travel guidelines for the Caribbean. Government and Community Engagement Representative for the Caribbean at Carnival Group, Marie McKenzie, says a major challenge has been the variation in requirements for each destination. She said cruise operators respect each country's authority to set its own guidelines, but the differences in stipulations make it operationally challenging for the cruise lines. It makes it harder to sell trips and is also a deterrent for guests, she said. The Carnival Group official was speaking at a private sector organization of Jamaica PSOJ online tourism recovery series. The Caribbean Catastrophic Risk Insurance Facility, CCRIF, on Tuesday said it will disburse $10.7 million to the Nicaraguan government following the destruction caused by Hurricane Eta. CCRIF says it has already paid an advance and the remainder will be disbursed by November 19. CCRIF said Nicaragua's tropical cyclone and excess rainfall parametric insurance policies were triggered due to the storm, the most powerful tropical cyclone of the 2020 season. Eta made landfall in Nicaragua as a Category 4 hurricane, bringing catastrophic winds, storm surge, and rainfall. Hurricane Iota battered Nicaragua with screeching winds and pounding surf Tuesday. It sent tens of thousands fleeing from their homes along the same stretch of the Caribbean coast that was devastated by an equally powerful hurricane just 2 weeks ago. The extent of the damage was unclear because much of the affected region was without electricity and phone and internet service. Preliminary reports included toppled trees and electric poles and roofs stripped from homes and businesses. Guillermo Gonzalez, director of Nicaragua's Emergency Management Agency, said more than 40,000 people were in shelters. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, on Tuesday allowed emergency use of the first rapid coronavirus test that can be performed and developed entirely at home. The announcement represents an important step in U.S. efforts to expand testing options for COVID-19 beyond healthcare facilities and testing sites. The FDA granted emergency authorization to the 30-minute test kit from Lucia Health, a California manufacturer. The test allows users to swab themselves to collect a nasal sample, which is tested in an electrical device that displays whether the person tested positive or negative for the coronavirus. U.S. President Donald Trump fired a top official who contradicted his claims of voter fraud. Trump said he terminated Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency Chief Chris Krebs for his quote, highly inaccurate, end quote, remarks on vote integrity. Reuters reports that Trump took issue with Krebs' post debunking a conspiracy theory about a supercomputer named Hammer and a scorecard which tampered with the national vote count. Krebs and other former U.S. officials have said that no such system exists. The Department of Homeland Security declared the election the most secure in American history. Several thousand people gathered in Berlin Wednesday to protest against the government plans to enforce restrictions aimed at curbing the spread of the novel coronavirus. Germany's parliament is due to pass laws today which allows the government to impose rules on mask wearing, drinking alcohol in public, shutting shops and stopping sporting events. Critics say the law gives the government too much power and endangers citizens' civil rights without the approval of Parliament. One far-right group has even compared it to the Enabling Act of 1933 that paved the way for Hitler's Nazi dictatorship. European privacy activists have filed complaints against Apple over its use of software to track the behavior of iPhone users. The Vienna-based group NYOB, short for None of Your Business, has asked data protection authorities in Germany and Spain to examine the legality of Apple's tracking codes. The codes, known as IDFA, are similar to cookies used by websites to store information on user behavior. NYOB says unique codes are created for each iPhone that allow Apple and other third parties to identify users across applications and even connect online and mobile behavior. Apple has dismissed the claims. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.